Jennifer, welcome back to the show.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I would be remiss if I did not mention something that's been out there in the papers. Others have been talking about it. You've responded to it already, but I want to get your take on it here just one more time, talking about a federal tax lien that's out there from the IRS between 2008 2009. You had confirmed to the union leader that they exist and that yourself and your husband are working to pay off what you owe. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, not really. I think we've said all we're going to say. You know, it's been a nonpartisan recession, unfortunately, Paul, and long period of unemployment combined with a long period of underemployment, has touched our house as well. We were proactive. We were aware of it. We took the initiative. We have always taken responsibility for ourselves, and we always will. And it's really it's such a huge disappointment that once again Republicans are deciding to make personal attacks against Republicans rather than focusing on what's really going on in the world and what we need to do to make things right. You know, we're living under a governor now. We've just elected a new governor who campaigned on restoring millions of dollars in funding, tens of millions of dollars in funding to the budget, and still hasn't told us where it's going to come from. But we're starting to get an idea of it. Apparently, she thinks maybe raising the beer tax is going to be the way to go on this. And we can all joke about the beer tax, but it's a regressive tax that attacks a perfectly legal social activity. And you might want to talk to some of the breweries and the distributors in our state who employ hundreds of people about how that's going to impact them. We're looking at a state government, a Democratic majority that wants us to consider an income tax, wants to give counties the right to implement income taxes in their own county on top of a state income tax. There is so much out there on that legislative agenda that is going to hurt our economy. We just reported this morning that coming into the new year, unemployment is up again in New Hampshire. We need to focus on sound, responsible fiscal policy that is going to put all of our Granite Staters, all Americans, back to work.
All right. Well, Jennifer, I do want to ask you a little bit about that pyramid I mentioned earlier on the show as well. The CPAC pyramid, I'm sure you've seen this, but you've got a few different corners of it. You've got the libertarian, you've got the social conservative, you've got the straight fiscal conservative. Where do you find yourself, I guess, on that scale? And would you call yourself a Tea Partier? How would you define yourself?
Well, I think one of my biggest strengths as a candidate for chairman of the party, Paul, is the fact that I'm a sound conservative Republican, and there are different issues that I can identify with most of those folks. The most important thing that we need from our chairman is the ability, as I said earlier, to unite all those different groups of Republicans that you're referring to, and create a coordinated, cohesive effort so that big spending, big government, liberal progressives like Maggie Hassan don't get elected again. That's what this is about. We have to, and I've said this from the first day I ever got involved in politics. I'm not involved in politics primarily because of the party. I'm involved in politics because of my children, because I have a grandchild now, and I want them to have the same opportunities that my parents fought so hard to provide for me and my 9 brothers and sisters. So this is about, politics should always be about the next generation. And if we allow the kind of spending that Maggie Hassan has embraced in the past to continue into the future, it's going to be crushing for our state. If we don't stand up and push back and make sure that the kind of spending that this president has foisted on the American people doesn't come to an end, then our entire nation is going to suffer the kind of damage that will be difficult or impossible for us to overcome. And, you look at President Obama, who is going to be announcing his gun control package today with very little regard for the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. And by the way, where's the $1 trillion in spending cuts that he's supposed to be coming up with before we have to get to the point where we're fighting about raising the debt limit again? There is a total lack of responsibility on the side of the Democrats. We have got to return to leadership and to policy that puts the financial and economic stability of individuals, single moms, small business owners, retirees, first above the Democratic Party and the liberal progressive agenda that these folks are pushing.
You know, Jennifer, it's interesting because obviously, and one of the things I was trying to get to with both you and Andrew on that question was talking about the sort of libertarian bend that's clearly grown in the Republican Party here in New Hampshire, especially, and you know that you've had a rep in just the past few months, Cynthia Chase, a Democrat from Keene, coming out and saying, "Hey, we need to get rid of these Free State folks." What do you think of the Free State Project, and what do you think of the libertarian movement in general?
Listen, it is all about it, and it should be for every elected representative in this country. Should be their primary effort should be about preserving freedom and individual liberty of the people. That's what our nation was founded on. I'm still waiting for Governor Hassan to come out and publicly reject Representative Chase's Democrat-only agenda. You know, she's got this idea that they should use legislation to create an environment that will only draw Democrats or liberals to the state. I've never heard of anything so outrageous. And as bad as it is, what's more disturbing is that our governor and the Speaker of the House have made no effort to say, no, that's actually not where we stand as Democrats. We want to represent everybody. So, again, it goes back to what kind of leadership do we need in our state so that all of our citizens are included in the process. Everybody has a voice, and we have policy that lifts up the entire community.
All right. Well, Jennifer Horn, I'm sorry we ran a little heavy on time there, but thank you so much for coming on and speaking to us.
My pleasure, Paul, and good luck to you in your future endeavors. We will miss you here in New Hampshire, but they're lucky to get you down in Worcester.
I appreciate it. Down to Massachusetts for me. So.
Oh, you're crazy. We're going to keep up the good fight up here regardless.
I appreciate it. Jennifer,
take care, Paul.
Best of luck to you.